Ah, okay. So, ganun pa lang naka-record. So, allow me to share my screen. So, what is instrumentation? Saglit. Nakikita niyo yung screen ko?
Sir, no,
Sir, di
sir.
pa po, sir.
Ito, kita niyo ba? PowerPoint.
Sir, no, sir.
No? Sige po. Try lang natin yung Zoom kung okay. Bibili ako kung okay sa atin. Pero kung hindi, balik sa Gmeet.
Sir, meron na po, sir.
Meron na. Sige, try natin ha. Kung okay. Tapos kung ano, i-message nyo na lang kung mas okay ba ang Zoom sa Gmeet o Gmeet lang. So, instrumentation is the process of applying instruments or tools of police sciences in criminal investigation and detection. So when we say instruments or tools, these are mostly what we found in the crime laboratory. So ano ba itong mga to? Ito yung nakikita natin. Comparison microscope, di ba? Yung mga yan, mga magnifying glasses, DNA equipment, di ba? All of those are considered instruments or tools. Kaya nga sinasabi, instrumentation is otherwise known as criminalistics. Why? Because they make use of the tools and instruments being used or found in the office of the forensics group or what we call crime laboratory. Yan. Yung crime lab na sinasabi noon is now called forensics group. Diba? So, crime lab group ang tawag sa kanila noon, ngayon, forensics group na. This is the use of police laboratory in the examination of physical evidence. So, we have here words, instruments, tools, and laboratory as your keywords. So, we have said that instrumentation involves the use of materials, equipments used by the forensic group. And at the same time, it is otherwise known as criminalistics. So, means to say, pareho ba ang forensic science sa criminalistics? Hindi. Magkaiba sila. So, what is forensic science then? Forensic science is a more general term that refers to the field of science applied in answering legal questions. So, yan yung keyword natin. Legal questions. Forensic science. So, pagka sinabi natin forensic ballistics, we study ballistics to solve issues or legal questions about firearms in relation to court. So when we say forensic, it pertains to answering legal questions. Saan ba natin gagamitin ang legal questions? During court or trial. Kaya siya sinabing forensic. While criminalistics does not necessarily involve court. So yan, yun ang difference niya. So when we say forensic science, ang result niya is gagamitin sa court. Pero ang pagka-criminalistics, not necessarily na gagamitin natin yung result niya sa court. So criminalistics is more descriptive than forensic science for describing the services of a crime laboratory. So yan nga. Kaya nga siya sinabing instrumentation, otherwise known as criminalistics, because it makes use of the tools and instruments in a crime lab. It is actually one of the branches of forensic science. So we have in the center, police sciences. Tapos some of the major subclassification are as follows. Forensic ballistics, which involves two. We have first is the firearms classification. And second is the firearms identification. So yan yung ginagawa natin sa forensic ballistics. Now, what is ballistics or firearms classification? When we say firearms classification, it involves the identification of class of that certain firearm. So, kung long arm ba yan or short arm, kung rifled arm ba yan or smoothbore, kung pistol ba or revolver, yan yung mga iba't ibang classification ng firearm.
Ma,
Yes?
sport na.
Rosales, yung mic mo.
Ay, sorry po.
Oo. O kung sino ang manufacturer, is this Winchester ba, Glock, Armscore? So yan yung mga iba't ibang classification. And when we say firearms, identification naman, under forensic ballistics, it pertains now to the individualization of a firearm. So ang focus natin dyan is yung individual characteristics ng firearm. Ngayon, ang question na sinasagot natin sa firearms identification is whether or not the crime bullet recovered from the crime scene was fired from the suspected firearm or not. So yun ang sinasagot ng firearm identification. Kung yung bang bala ay ipinutok ng suspect na baril. Is it, o kung bang yung dalawang bala na nakuha sa magkahiwalay na crime scene were fired from one and the same firearm. So yun yung mga sinasagot na natin sa firearm identification para matukoy kung saan o kung kaninong baril yung pumutok. Yan. And under forensic chemistry and toxicology, what we answer there is to discover whether or not a substance is poisonous or not. Yan yung toxicology. Tapos sa forensic chemistry, whether or not that substance is an illegal drug or not. So yan yung pinaka-primarily in relation to the job of the PNP and to determine the chemical composition of a substance. Yan. In polygraphy naman, this is what we call lie detector. Malalaman natin kung yung tao ay nagsisinungaling o hindi. We also have here forensic medicine to answer legal queries about the status of the victim or cadaver. Diba? Kung ano yung cause of death, kung namatay. Diba? Sa forensic medicine, ano ba kasi yung ginagawa natin dyan? Ang ginagawa sa forensic medicine is pagkapatay yung biktima, ang unang ginagawa sa patay is post-mortem examination, di ba? So, physical examination, kung ano ba yung mga physical na nakikita sa victim. Kung meron ba siyang entrance wound, exit wound, saan yung mga entrance wound niya, ilan ang stab wounds niya, saan ang mga wounds niya, anong klase ng wound, abrasion ba? O yan, di ba? Stab wounds ba? And is that an entrance wound or exit wound ba? So yan, ang lahat ng mga yan ay pinag-aaralan sa forensic medicine. And photography. We make use of photography in all crime scene processing. It is primarily used for recording purposes and preservation of the crime scene. So yan, sa first batch. And we have here the second batch, forensic computer technology. We use this to track and locate hackers, di ba? Meron na tayo ngayon yung iba't ibang uri ng cybercrimes, di ba? Mga cyber libel, cyberbullying, hacking, account hacking, identity theft, di ba? Yung hinak yung account mo tapos nagpanggap siyang ikaw, tapos the next day yung mga relatives mo na nanghingi ng pera, ganyan, or whatever. Yan. Those are all crimes under cybercrime. Tapos sa forensic psychology naman, the study of human behavior, kung bakit kaya ganyan yung ugali niya, bakit kaya nagawa niya yung krimen, ganyan. Forensic odontology, dental, question document, to determine whether or not a certain document was forged or genuine. Kung genuine ba yung pirma sa document or kung peke, yan yung sinasagot natin sa query. Or to determine whether or not the certain document is genuine, original ba, or peke. Yan. And dactyloscopy is the other term for fingerprint. So, for personal identification purposes. Fingerprint, footprint, podoscopy. So, yan yung mga iba't ibang criminalistics natin. We now move on with information and physical evidence. So, what is evidence? Evidence is the means sanctioned by the rules of court of ascertaining in a judicial proceeding the truth respecting a matter of fact. So, evidence is the means. So, ito yung paraan para malaman natin yung katotohanan from kasinungalingan. Kumbaga, yan ang ibig niyang sabihin. We have here two forms of information. We have the physical form and the sensory form. So what is physical form then? It is acquired through the 5 senses. So when we say 5 senses, pwede ning nakikita, pwedeng nahahawakan. So the sense of smell, the sense of touch, the sense of sight, the sense of hearing, ano pa yung hindi ko nasabi? Sense of taste. Yan. 5 senses. So pagka andyan yung 5 senses, matik, physical form yan. So physical form pertains to objects or physical objects. And what are now the classes of evidence? So ang pinakamabigat dito is the physical or real or object evidence. Ang panlaban lang natin dyan is also physical, real, or object evidence. Pero pagka pinaglaban mo ang physical evidence compared to testimonial evidence, of course, mas mananalo yung physical evidence. Pagka yung prosecutor, physical evidence ang present na ebidensya, tapos sa defense is wala siyang ebidensya, pero testimony lang ng witness niya, probably mas mananalo yung real evidence, object evidence. So, we have here the 3 classifications of evidence, and for us to distinguish one from the other, we have here, we start with the testimonial evidence. Testimonial evidence is a result of interview and interrogation. It can be either in an oral form or written testimony. So, yan. But when we say testimonial evidence, it is mostly on oral. Oral. Yung talaga magsasalita ka. Magte-testify ka in court. Hindi lang siya written. Maliban na lang kung pepe ka, then we can make use of your writing. And next is the documentary evidence. We have here writings or official records, I mean. We can say that a document is an official record or a public document if it is issued by the government. So pagka yung document ay in-issue ng government, it is a public document. Pagka yung document ay na-notarize ng notary public, ng lawyer, na-notarize public, that is considered a public document. What now is a private document? A private document is a document signed by private parties, pero hindi siya na-notarize. So yan ang Difference ng public and private document. And we have here another definition of documentary evidence supplied by written instruments. So yun yung pinakapunto niya. Kaya nga siya sinabing documentary evidence because it focused on its written instruments. So kung nakikita nyo ba itong hawak ko? Kita nyo ba? Naka-on cam ba kayo?
Sir, yes, sir.
Now, what type
Yes,
of
sir.
evidence is this? Anong ebidensya to? Object, testimony, or documentary evidence?
Object.
Object po, sir.
Object, sir.
Object evidence.
Object, sir.
Oo, object evidence to. Ngayon, pero kung ang tanong, ang issue sa korte ay yung contents nitong tubig na to, pagka yung contents niya, ang issue, yung mga nakasulat dito, then this now serves as a documentary evidence. So kita niyo na yung diferensya?
Sir, yes, sir.
Sir.
Oo.
Yes, sir.
So this is an object evidence. Pero kung yung contents, yung mga nakasulat dito, ang question, ang in issue, then this will now serve as a documentary evidence. So we have here now the physical or real evidence. This is a result of crime scene search. So we say physical again if we can sense it with our 5 senses. So these are evidence addressed to the senses of the court. Yan, yung 5 senses natin. When we say senses of the court, it pertains to the 5 senses natin. And when we say tangible item, nahahawakan natin siya. Tangible, nahawakan. Unlike intangible, hindi natin nahahawakan. So ano ba yung intangible? Imagination, yan. Intangible yan. Hangin, intangible yan. Naramdaman mo yung direction ng hangin pero hindi mo nahawakan. So we have here now the kinds of physical evidence, corpus delicti, associative evidence, tracing evidence, and circumstantial evidence. So what is corpus delicti? These are objects or substances which are essential parts of the body of the crime. Or in short, corpus delicti is called body of the crime. So pagka sinabi ni judge during trial of a murder case, Mr. Investigator, bring the body of the crime. Pagkasabi niya, ano ang dadalhin mo? Pagka ikaw ang investigator,
Yung ebidensya po, sir.
pagka murder case, bring the body of the crime. Sabi niya, anong ebidensya yon?
Yung ginamit niya pong weapon.
Pwede. Paano yung cadaver? Hindi ba pwede yon?
Sir, yung autopsy report po, sir. Yung result po ng
Ayun.
autopsy, sir.
Oo. So yun, yung picture ng patay, yung autopsy report, yan mga yan ang dadalhin nyo, hindi yung bangkay mismo. So yan ang corpus delicti. Now we have here associative evidence. These are evidence which links the suspect to the crime scene or which links the suspect to the offense. So murder case na naman. Tapos at the crime scene, nakita natin fingerprint ng suspect. Can we make use of that fingerprint to link
Sir, yes, sir.
him to the crime scene? So fingerprint
Yes, sir.
now is
Sir.
an associative evidence. May question? Ay, akala ko may question.
Wala po, sir.
So footprint din, pwede din yan. O kaya, whatever that is in property crimes, whatever that is missing at the crime scene, that was recovered in the possession of the suspect. So, pwede rin associative evidence yan. O kaya, pwede rin naman na yung mga items na naiwan ng suspect sa crime scene na pagmamayari niya. So, anong gagamitin natin? To link it, pwedeng gumamit ng personal identification ng mga taong nakakakilala sa kanya. Diba? So, damit mo yan. Ito po yung palatandaan eh. Mga ganyan. And next is the tracing evidence. These are articles which assist the investigation in locating the suspect. So, the keyword is, it helps locate the suspect. That is our tracing evidence. Now, how do we track or locate suspects nowadays?
Through GPS, sir.
Oo, GPS, pwede yan. Tracking, bagging devices, mga ganyan, di ba? So those are tracing evidence. Nowadays, we also have here drones, di ba? Sa other countries, they make use of drones to track, locate, and trace the whereabouts of the suspect. Kung saan patungo yung suspect is sinusundan ng drone, hindi lang helicopter.
Sir, CCTV po, pwede po.
Oo, pwede yan. Kasi,
Surveillance, sir.
oo, kasi yung CCTV, dumaan siya dito. Nakuha na ng CCTV, nagpatungong north siya. Tapos, lilipat ka dun sa kabilang CCTV. So, after that, saan siya nagtungo? Di ba? So, from north, medyo kumaliwa siya doon. Di ba? O, so, masusundan pa natin. Tapos, dun sa kabilang, ano naman yung nakuha ng kabilang CCTV? Ay, sumakay na siya sa motor. So, di ba? So, tracing evidence din yan. We can also make use of our canines. Di ba? Yung mga canine dogs.
Asset, sir.
Those yes, pwede. Pero yung mga asset kasi is mostly involved in, hindi siya, intelligence work kasi siya eh. Although pwede pa rin, tama. Pwede pa rin yung mga assets pagka pasusundan natin sa kanila yung suspect natin, pagka na-identify natin yung suspect. So those are all
Yung plaka, sir. Pwede kaya yun.
yung
Yung plaka, sir.
plaka. Pagka iniwan yung plaka sa crime scene, ngayon, magagamit mo ba yung plaka? Although pwede naman,
Sir.
associative evidence siya kasi it associates the owner with the crime scene. Kasi itatrack sa record ng LTO at ng HPJ kung kanino yung sasakyan na may plaka nun. So, associative evidence siya and at the same time, tracing evidence because through the information verification with the LTO, malalaman natin yung address ng suspect. So, pwede rin. Pwedeng associative at the same time, tracing evidence. And we have here now the circumstantial evidence. Identification is being established indirectly by proving other facts or circumstances from which either alone, yan, isa, or in connection with other facts. The identity of the perpetrator can be inferred. So one example of a circumstantial evidence is si Pedro. Kunwari, nakita niya si Juan na pumasok sa bahay ni Maria. Tapos after that, umalis na si Pedro. Napadaan ngayon naman si Melchor. Tapos, nadinig ni Melchor ang sigaw ng babae. Ay, ang lakas naman ng boses nun. Boses ni Maria yun ah. Tapos, anong sigaw ni Maria? Yung parang sinusugod siya, di ba? So, yun ang sigaw ni Maria. Pero ang ginawa ni Melchor, umalis siya, tumakbo, lumapit, ay naghanap ng pwede niyang mahingan ng tulong. Pero, hindi lang si Melchor ang nakarinig sa boses. Narinig din ng relatives ni Maria. Umuwi siya. Umuwi yung relatives ni Maria. Pagtingin nila sa bahay ni Maria, nakahandusay na si Maria. So, we have the three circumstances, di ba? So, yung unang circumstances is pumasok si Juan sa bahay ni Maria. Sino ang witness natin? Si Pedro. So, yun ang isang circumstance. Nakita ni Pedro, pumasok si Juan sa bahay ni Maria. Tapos, after na pumasok si Juan, hindi naman bigla, after mga ilang minutes, sumigaw si Maria. Sino ang witness? Si Melchor. So, that's second circumstance, di ba? Tapos ang pangatlong circumstance is nakita na ng relatives si Maria na nakahandusay na sa kanyang bahay. So, 3 circumstances. We put that together to have the whole fact. So, yan ang circumstantial evidence. So, ano yung fact man niya ngayon? Pinatay ni Pedro si Maria sa bahay ni Maria. Ganyan. So, what are the principles to be observed with evidence? The evidence should reach the laboratory as much, nag-extend pala tayo as possible in the same condition as when it is found. So, yan. Kung ano yung ebidensya, kaya nga meron tayong golden rule in investigation, di ba? O criminal investigation. Never touch, move, never touch, move, destroy, alter evidence unless it is properly photographed, sketched, marked, and measured, di ba? So, yan yung golden rule natin. So, pagka ginalaw mo yan, hindi nabago na yung form ng evidence. So, yan. Evidence should reach the laboratory as much as possible in same condition as when found at the crime scene. Tapusin lang natin to. Short lang naman to. The quantity of specimen should be adequate. So, when we say quantity of specimen should be adequate, dapat, di ba, pagka nagpa-drug test kayo, minsan, nire-require pa na punuin mo yung yung bottle. Kasi pagka incomplete, hindi magiging accurate yung result ng examination. So, we have to have the quantity adequate. So, dapat adequate yung sample. And we have to submit a known or standard specimen for comparison purposes. So, pagka question document yan, dapat meron tayong yung genuine document or genuine na handwriting. Tapos, meron tayong ipo-compare na yung suspect handwriting or yung suspect document. Same is true with firearms identification. Dapat meron tayong yung genuine na bullet compared with the suspect na bullet. Pag nag-match, one in the same firearm yan. So, siya na yung baril na nagamit sa crime scene. Keep each specimen separate from others. So, there will be no intermingling or mixing of known and unknown material. So, pati nga sa evidence collection, di ba? And preservation. Pagka yung bullet, kahit na pareho silang class ng bullet, huwag nyo silang pagsamahin sa isang container. Dapat paghiwalayin nyo. Kasi pagka pinagsama nyo sa isang container, maggagasgasan yung mga yan. Masisira na yung individual characteristics nila. So, dapat place evidence in a separate sealing envelope or container. Yan. So, mark and label each piece of evidence for positive identification as evidence taken from particular location in connection with the crime under investigation. So, how does the investigator mark? Pwedeng pagka yung SOCO dash yung date, or SOCO dash yung crime, tapos yung ABCD. Or pagka yung investigator naman, local investigator, pwedeng yung initials ng investigator, kunwari, Pedro Escobar, PE, tapos yung date. O kaya pwedeng, tapos after that, yung A, B, C, D, mga ganyan. So long as meron pa siyang nakalakip na evidence form. Ano nakalagay dun sa evidence form? Evidence marked as A. Shell. Evidence marked as B. Bullet. Evidence marked as C. Meron siyang yung mga technical description. So, yun. Tapos, at the same time, aside from the technical description, nakasaad din doon kung saan nahanap. So, found where? On the table or below the table. Di ba, mga ganyan? On the window, fingerprint. Saan hanap? On the window. Ang dami-daming window. Saang window? Topmost, rightmost, Ganyan, i-indicate nyo kung saan. Tapos, the chain of custody of evidence must be maintained. So, ito yung sinabi ko noon sa inyo na most of our drug cases during trial were dismissed by the courts. Bakit? Kasi tinetechnical, magaling yung defense eh. Nakikita niyang medyo hindi nasusunod yung chain of custody. Kasi noon, from pusher buyer na yung nagtra-transmit ng evidence sa crime lab. Pero dapat, ang tamang proseso is pagka bypass operation, may nahuli, yung pusher buyer, ibibigay niya yung evidence sa investigator for documentation purposes. Tapos after that, i-transmit naman ni investigator sa crime lab. Ganun dapat yung proseso. Hindi yung from pusher buyer, i-direction na niya sa crime lab. Tapos pagka hinanap ni court, si pusher buyer mismo ang kukuha sa crime lab. Hindi. Pagka hinanap ngayon ni court yung evidence, ang mangyayari naman dyan is si pusher buyer, pagka kay pusher buyer hinanap yung drug for his identification, ang gagawin niya is investigator, kunin mo nga yung evidence sa crime lab. Tapos si investigator, kasi siya rin mismo kasi yung yung evidence custodian investigator at saka evidence custodian kuminsan. Pero kung magkahiwalay na tao yun, yung evidence custodian at investigator, pagka magkahiwalay yan, isasama na naman siya sa link. So kung kumpleto, ang proper na flow niyan is from pusher buyer to investigator, tapos investigator to evidence custodian, tapos evidence custodian to crime lab. Tapos pagka hinanap ni court, ang mangyayari is crime lab, ipapasa naman niya yung evidence at saka yung result sa evidence custodian to the investigator. Ganyan. Tapos investigator to the pusher buyer. Ganun yung flow niya. Hindi dapat nababiolate para hindi tayo ma-technical. So ladies and gentlemen, time check. It's already sobrang extent to 7:09. I received this question for your quiz maybe. Do you have questions? Do you have questions?
None so far po, sir.
Ano percent?
None,
Ayun.
sir.
Okay. So there being none, ladies and gentlemen, you are excused. Thank you very much. As
Thank
usual,
you, sir.
yes, as usual, announcements will be posted
Thank you po,
on our
sir.
group chat and on your stream class, the Google class. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
po, sir.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Have a nice day po.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po, sir.